You got the touch. You got the power.
Arise, Rodimus Prime. Optimus.
Rodimus Bill here, and today we're going to do our review on Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. First, as you can see, here's all our little dinosaurs. We have Blue, several velociraptors, a couple different kinds. Here's a big T-Rex, the gyrosphere, and just figure a nice little background. And here is one of our main stars, Blue. Now, talk about the movie. This is a spoiler review, so it will be, please don't watch the review until you see the movie. I'm going to go over the good, the bad, the characters, and what I thought on the Jurassic World franchise expanding into future movies. Now, for the characters, we're going to go through our little movie bill, which I got at my Regal. And just a quick summary of the characters. We got Owen Grady, which is, Owen is basically the dinosaur trainer from the first one. And then Claire Deering, she was in charge of the first Jurassic World. And now what she's doing is a Save the Dinosaurs movement. Eli Mills is the president of Benjamin Lockwood Company. We'll more on that later. Franklin Webb is an IT guy that works with Claire. And Zia Rodriguez, so Zia works with Claire and Franklin. She is I can't think of the term, but she is a dino doctor. And then you got Benjamin Lockwood, played by James Cromwell. He was the original Jurassic Park, was Alan, I can't think of his last name, the guy all dressed in white. Him and Lockwood were original partners, and they're the ones that perfected the cloning process to bring the dinosaurs to life. And then, of course, Dr. Henry Wu has been in all the Jurassic World movies and Jurassic Park. He's the one that, he was Lockwood's main geneticist that helped invent the dinosaurs, and other minor characters. And the main dinosaurs you have were the velociraptors, which Blue is the remaining. There was Blue, Charlie, Echo, Delta. Blue was the only trained one that survived Jurassic World. And you got the Indominus Rex skeleton. And then you have T-Rex. And then you have the new guy, Indoraptor, which we'll talk more on that later. Now, the main plot takes place 3 years later. It starts off, you see in a sub that they're looking for the Indominus Rex's skeleton because they want to cut off a finger for the Indominus Rex DNA, which they do. And then they basically attach it to a floater. It goes to the surface. And then the big Mosasaurus, which is that big undersea creature, it really attacks them, but you don't see it. And then you have guys on the island that are trying to helicopter the toe out, the part of the bone for the Indominus Rex, and they escape the island. And then basically it goes to Claire is having a meeting once Professor Malcolm from the original Jurassic Park, he is at a Congress hearing, and the whole plot of the movie is there's a extinction level volcano threat on the island, and Congress trying to decide whether or not they want to help pay to relocate the dinosaurs or let them down or let them die. And that is how Claire and Owen get involved. For what happens is Congress votes no, they're not going to help them. So Lockwood wants Claire and Owen to rescue Blue and 13 species of dinosaurs to take them to a safe island that he's found, where they'll live uninterrupted, and they'll actually live from the volcano. But little do they know, Eli, the president of Lockwood's company, is evil. He's your typical villain who wants to capture the dinosaurs and sell them to highest bidder. And that is basically what he wants to do. He wants to save 13 species and auction them off to the highest bidder, where they could use them to do medicine weaponize them, all that good stuff. So Claire and Owen go on the island, and while they rescue Blue, Blue gets shot, Owen gets tranquilized, and somehow they get separated. Now Zia is with Blue because he's trying to save Blue's life, and the whole plan was to try to let Owen and Claire die on the island. And so the island, at this point, the island has gone full-blown volcano, extinction level event. So Claire and Owen and Franklin barely get off the island in time, and they sneak on the ship that evil Eli has chartered to save all the dinosaurs where he could sell them. And while there, they see Blue. He's shot. They ask Zia once need a blood transfusion to save Blue. He sneaks in the T-Rex's pit. They take some blood. The uneventful trip back to the island to America. I assume it's the U.S. where they want to truck all the dinosaurs to the Lockwood Mansion. And underneath the Lockwood Mansion is where all the secret laboratories are that created the original Jurassic Park dinosaurs. But Eli and Owen get captured, and they get thrown in a pit, and they find out Eli's evil plan. And at this point, and one other character was Maisie, whom you originally think is Lockwood's granddaughter. She overhears what Eli's doing, and she tells her grandfather. And then, long story short, Eli finds out, confronts Lockwood. Lockwood says, pick up the phone, call the cops on you. And Eli takes a pillow and smothers Lockwood and kills Lockwood. And the girl's trapped in a room, and she breaks out, and then she's running loose in the mansion at the same time that Owen and Claire are locked up. So Owen and Claire escape from the jail they're in, and they run around the mansion, and they find the auction going off. And then in the middle of the auction, there's 6 dinosaurs that are auctioned off. You see them load up in trucks, and they leave the compound. So now those guys are out in the world. And once they bring in the new Indoraptor, Owen says that thing can't leave this mansion, this building. So he lets a loose dinosaur in, breaks up the auction. Of course, you have rich people in tuxedos and dresses running for their lives, and a little dinosaur is running around, killing them and spearing them. And it's actually this little guy, Stiggy Moloch, the guy with the big dome head. And so Owen fights all the guards. He stops the cage with the Indoraptor, and a big fight breaks out. And then they get separated, and the Indoraptor winds up escaping from the thing, and he gets loose in the mansion. So now you got Owen and Claire are running around together. You still have Zia is stayed with Blue, helping her, and Franklin somehow trying to escape. They think he's one of their guys, and he winds up working with them, blending the background. So Eli and Owen, chaos ensues, and some dinos get loose. A long battle, and the final result is the Indoraptor is chasing Claire, Owen, and Maisie. And Blue comes in the last minute, helps fight. The Indoraptor falls from the ceiling, and he gets pierced by the Stegosaurus skeleton. He basically gets stabbed by that, and the Indoraptor dies. And by this time, Zia finds out that there's poison gas escaping, and all the dinosaurs still locked up are gonna die. So Claire, Owen, Macy, Franklin, and Zia all run down to the basement, where Claire lets all the dinosaurs out of their cages. Now, they're still going to die in this room unless she hits the big open door button. Now, once you open that door, Owen says, that's it. They're out in the wild. It's a whole new world out there. So Claire decides to let them die. Macy, the small girl, pushes the button and says, they need to live just like me. And she lets all the dinosaurs out in the wild. Comes out Maisie, I think it's Maisie, is a clone of Lockwood's daughter, because Lockwood's daughter got killed in a car accident, so he wound up cloning his own daughter, and now she's like a 10-year-old kid. And end of the movie, all the bad guys are killed off. Half the dinosaurs are trucked to all over the world. The other half are loose in the U.S. And you see Claire and Owen and Macy drive off, and then they're looking over at the sun, and there's like pteranodons flying in the sun, and then you see a T-Rex break over a fence, and it's like a Busch Gardens, which is like an animal park, and you see a lion roar, you see the T-Rex roar, and in the back you see a sky ride. If you don't know what they are, Google it, you'll see them at Busch Gardens. And that's the end of the movie. And then you have Malcolm saying, "We live now in a Jurassic World." My best parts was I liked the videos. They always showed videos of Owen training Blue and Charlie and Delta in the past, and it gives you a lot of hindsight about how close he got to the dinosaurs. I liked the battle with Blue versus the Indoraptor. The island's in about the first 45 minutes. All the island parts are good. I like the twist on Macy being a clone and not the granddaughter. Oh, and this one part. Jurassic World, one of the points that the first movie got hammered was Claire's in high heels throughout the whole movie running in the jungle. So this one, once they get back on the island, Claire puts her one foot down on the plane to the steps, and she's wearing boots. They zoom in on her boots, they pan up, and you see Claire walking down. Obvious, very obvious jab at the first Jurassic World. What could have been better? Typical villain, evil president of corporation. Owners don't know what he's doing. The plot was similar to Jurassic Park 2, where they capture the dinosaurs. In Jurassic Park 2, they brought them to San Francisco, and in this one, they brought to Lockwood's private mansion. So, weak villain. There's really only so much you can do with Jurassic World plots. And now what I want Jurassic World 3 to be, I want to see Owen and Claire working with like a secret government group to track down every single dinosaur, to capture them and transport them to the island. And of course the main villain in 3, I think, is Dr. Wu escaped with blood samples of all the dinosaurs, so now they're out there still. So I want it to be twofold in Jurassic World 3. I want to see Owen going after all the dinosaurs, and then I want to see the final confrontation with Mr. Wu. Overall, I give this movie an 8 out of 10. All the action scenes, give it a 10, but the rehashed plot is a 6, so I average out to 8. I love the action scenes. They've gone really good mixing the real effects with the special effects, the CGI, and it's got to the point now where you can tell what's real and what's not. I love the chemistry between Owen and Claire. Chris Pratt, what more can you say? The guy's a movie star. Every movie he's in. But overall, I would go see it again, which I have to go see it again. The parts I miss getting popcorn and stuff. But it is a very good movie. I encourage people to see it. Now, of course, the reviews, a dinosaur movie is not going to get an Emmy or an Oscar. But you know what? It's a good summer popcorn flick, and I say definitely go see it at least once. So, this is Rodimus Bill and Blue saying please check out all our other reviews, our Transformer reviews, our DC action figure reviews, our Marvel figure reviews, and come back here for more movie reviews. So this is Rodimus Bill saying see you at the movies.